Electrical burning smell coming out of a Fisher & Paykel tumble dryer. Now this particular model is CRG 150445. It's about a couple of years old. It started to have a burning smell. Now the quickest way to get these things apart is screws left and right, or right and left, depending on which way you're facing. I've already loosened these ones off. Keep all your screws in a place. It's safe. Right, the front face comes off rather easy. Just pull it forward, it drops away. Just be careful there's not too much tension on those plugs, they can just sit there. Now I've previously removed this back cover, screws all the way down the sides, across the bottom and up that side. Make sure before you go on the inside of your dryer you unplug it from the wall. Now that there, I'll loosen off the last two screws I've left in. This one there. And all the screws around the outside of the dryer are pretty much all the same, bar the top left and top right, and they are slightly longer than the rest. So once you've unscrewed all the screws around the outside, you'll note there's two screws this side there which aren't holding the cover on. Leave those on. You don't need to take those off, they're not holding the cover on at all. It's just a matter of pulling off the rear cover once you've got all the screws off. Pull off the rear cover, set that aside, and here you'll see the exhaust duct which comes through. That's just a removable pipe, it just wriggles off. You can clean that out while you're having a nosy around. It just pushes back on inside the dryer. You can take that or leave it out. Now there is basically the heater elements are in behind this unit here. Now the quickest way to get to that is basically you can take the top off to get access, and you'll see all the electrics here, your heater elements, sensors there and down there. Now you don't need to remove these off, there's plenty of cable length inside of here and here just to inspect. Now that's one bolt. Now that bolts in into the inside of the dryer. Now we need to remove that bolt, but before we do we have to support the drum because we're going to take off these two screws here and these two screws here. So we'll remove those. Get away, cat. So what I use is an old plastic container and I just wedge it in underneath. And basically what you're doing is you're supporting the drums. These are the pulleys that run around and turn the drum off that motor that's in there. So we don't have to worry about that. All we have to do is support the drum while we loosen the screws either side. Now you could probably put a car jack in here and a piece of wood just to keep the tension up, but I just use a plastic container to roughly the right height. Just wedge it in there. Go. And that's now supporting the drum. Now what we will do is remove the two screws either side. Keep those aside. And what I did notice is that whilst there was no little washers in behind 3 there was on the 4th when I removed it earlier, so Fisher and Paykel must have, the person assembling it must have just forgotten to put them on all 4. So that's the brackets that support the drum and this here. So you should use a proper ring spanner or a socket, but in this case I'm just going to use a crescent spanner. Now that bolt travels right through to the inside of the drum on the other side, so just be careful when you take it off, because it may fall back through. It's got a nifty little locking, sort of like a little locking nut which turns around. I haven't seen one of these types before on any motor vehicle or anything, so they're quite good. So you don't have to hold the bolt from the other side, they sort of hold tension on the bolt while it turns. So just be careful, that will fall through if you're not careful. Now what we're going to do is, if I can try and do it while holding the camera, is push the sides of it apart so that pops out. I'll do the same on the other side, but I'll attempt to try and hold it and just wriggle that out from the side. Now I'll show you here, just swing it out a little bit. You'll see the back of the inside of the drum, and that's directly into the inside of the dryer. And this is the little nut, the bolt that comes through from the other side, and it's got a little guide here to make sure it doesn't drop out. Now inside here we inspect the heater element for any obstructions. So there's no, and here's probably likely to be the problem. There is some debris down in here. Now this is plastic, and that to me looks like a piece of weed eating wire, and likely is it's been in my pants pocket, gone through the washing machine, ended up in the dryer, and somehow it's gone through one of these little holes and ended up in the heater element. And there's one there, and there's another bit of a red one, which is I also identify as a piece of weed eater wire as well, a different gauge wire. And while I was pulling it apart, that one fell out, and that one fell out, and all these other bits of lint and debris that's fell off in the carpet. Now I'm probably going to have to get in there and clean all this out, but that's basically what was causing the burning. Now the rest of it looks pretty clean. There was no other major lint balls or anything in there, so I'm going to clean all that up, reassemble it, making sure that I take my stand out, of course, and I align my duct with the back panel, and all the other screws line up. Now you'll see the sensors in here, and this is supported quite well. You might want to just hold on to it a bit carefully than I'm doing, but all the cables are, there's no major tension on any of them, so there was no need to remove all these cables off the unit. And just be careful when you put that back on that you don't push it back through, or you'll be hunting around on the inside. I'll show you what it is on the inside. You can see the bolt there at the back. So once I clear that out, put it all back together again, she should be fine. I may have to use a bit of wet and dry on that element, being careful just to remove the burnt on plastic, but the majority of it's all gone now, so it should be fine. Thanks.